are also looking at your replies and answers in the chats. The Google Forms will be shared today, so please, check your WhatsApps regularly so that you can fill in the forms as soon as possible. And another update is we will be closing the first 3 forms we shared today. So if you haven't filled in, please fill them today so that we can record your responses as well. Thank you, ma'am. We can start the session today.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Now, I request our speakers for today, Ms. Krishna and Ms. Bhavna, to please take over. Thank you.
So good afternoon, students. I hope that you are enjoying the sessions ongoing with Aprajita Foundation. I am Bhavna, the master trainer from Aprajita Foundation, and I have my colleague with me, Krishna ma'am. She is also the master trainer. She will be taking your session today. But before proceeding to the session, I would like to inform you about the prizes and achievements you will get for participating in this life skills. So the prizes are 5 smartwatches, 10 LED table lamps, 20 flash drives, and medal for 100 participants. But there is a condition that you have to fulfill. There are certain terms and conditions. You have to fulfill that for the availment of these prizes. Number first is that you have to be a daily participant. You have to participate on daily basis in these workshops, and you have to earn some points. And next is that you have to give maximum accurate and correct replies, because the maximum accurate and correct replies will be considered for prizes. By the replies, I mean the activities which will be conducted by Krishna ma'am in this session. You have to participate actively in that, and you have to reply accurately for that. The next condition is that you will be given some Google Forms. You have to fill that after the completion of the session. After that, the next condition is that you have to enter with your correct name, with your school name, your area, your region name. After you fulfill these terms and conditions, then only you will be eligible for the prizes. You can answer in the YouTube also or through the Zoom also, from whichever area you have joined. Next, I would like to tell you about the feedback videos, that we will share a Google Drive link in the chat box, and also you can go on our website to share your feedback video. I am going to share a sample video with you, that how you can share your video. So just have a look. And you can upload it on the Aprajita website, that is www.aprajita.org, or you can fill in the link which will be given in the chat box. So this is a sample video which you can use for your feedback preparation. It can be a 40 to 50-second video.
அரசு மேல்நிலைப் பள்ளியில் 7th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் படிக்கிறேன். முதலாம் நான் என்னை யார் வஞ்சாலும் என்னை எது அடித்தாலும் நான் அவனுக்கு தீங்கு செஞ்சுருவேன். ஒரு தாட்டி அப்படியே என் கண்ணை ஒத்தையும் குத்திட்டாண்டு அவனோட சைக்கிள் டயரை போய் நான் குத்திட்டேன். இதுலேருந்து அதுக்கப்புறம் நான் 7ஆப் வந்தோடனே அந்த ஒரு அக்கா வெண்முகில் அக்காண்டு தலிர் திறன் திட்டம் பாடம் கொண்டு வந்தாங்க. அந்த பாடத்தில் இது கோபம்னு கொண்டு வந்தாங்க. அந்த கோபத்தை கட்டுப்படுத்துறதுல நம்ம கையை பின்னாடி கட்டிக்கிட்டு அந்த கையை பிரிக்கக்கூடாது கவனத்தை செலுத்தி அதுலேருந்து நம்ம கோபத்தை இது கட்டுப்படுத்திக்கணும். அதுலேருந்து நான் அவன்கிட்ட போய் சைக்கிளை குத்துனதுக்கு சாரி அப்படின்னு கேட்டுட்டேன். அரசு மேல்நிலைப் பள்ளியில் 7th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்.
So my dear students, I hope that I am clear to you that how you have to share your video. It has to be a 40 to 50-second video, and you can share it in your mother tongue also. And you can upload the videos of your parents also. If they are watching along with you, you can share their videos also on the website or on the link given in the chat box. So thank you. And now we'll proceed with the session. I would like Ms. Krishna to take over the charge. Thank you, students.
Thank you, Rupa madam. Thank you, Samiha madam. And thank you, Bhavna madam, for the wonderful start of the session. So good afternoon, students and all our esteemed participants. Welcome to today's session. My name is Krishna Patel and I'm from Aprajita Foundations, and I'll be taking today's session. So students, in the last session, we learned about goal setting. So I hope you would have already started setting your goals, and how you have learned that you have to make SMART goals. And by SMART, I know you know the definition of SMART and how to work to achieve them, and what are the advantages of setting goals. You have learned all that. And so I'm sure that now you can set your goals and also achieve them. So now today we learn about the life skill communication. As you all know, communication is so important. It is the very essential life skill, because communication is used with everyone, with whomever you communicate, at home, in school, with friends, with family members, neighbors, everyone. Like, communication is so important, and it has to be the best. So today we'll be learning the life skill communication. And in that, we'll start with today's topic is assertiveness. So assertiveness is dradta. So we learn about assertiveness. So what is assertiveness? So assertiveness is the quality of being self-assured and confident without being aggressive to defend a right point of view or a relevant statement when you want to say something, but without being aggressive, you just put up your point, and you are that is how you are assertive. So we'll learn about that today. What is passive, what is aggressive, and we'll have more sessions on communication life skill. So today we'll start with assertiveness first topic. So like the last sessions, we'll watch a video in which we'll have some stories or scenarios, based on which we'll have some questions, and for that you'll have to reply in the chat box, and I know you reply very quickly. So you all have to reply very quickly, and with your name and region and everything, so that we know that you are coming from which region and who is the replying the most. As you have been announced, as you have heard the prizes that we are going to get today, and I want you all to participate and win prizes. So we'll start today's video, and it's a short video where you'll get the scenarios and you'll have to answer the questions. So let's begin. So we'll be starting with assertiveness.
Hello, friends. I'm so happy to see you all once again. Shall we start the session with an exercise? I'll give you a situation. You're watching your favorite program on TV. Your elder brother walks in, picks up the remote control, and changes the channel. He starts watching his favorite sports program without saying a word. What would be your reaction? Each one of us may react in a particular way depending upon our temperament. That is because our behavior is defined by our temperaments. We shall be learning about the different types of behavior in the course of 3 lessons. Let's meet Amar. I shall now describe a few characteristics of Amar. Amar's characteristics. It is not possible for him to criticize his friends to their face. If someone younger is bullying, he will not try to stop it. If someone treats him unfairly, he remains silent. He gives in even when something which is rightfully his is snatched from him. He sulks, but doesn't openly antagonize those who make fun of him.
So students, here today we'll learn about assertiveness, as I told you. So we'll learn what is passive behavior, what is aggressive behavior. So we'll see some scenarios, like right now we'll learn about Amar's characteristics. How is Amar is like, it is not possible, he's very passive. It is not possible for him to criticize his friends to their face. If someone is bullying, he'll not try to stop, and he'll remain silent, and he'll not stand up for himself. So that is how the Amar's characteristics are here. So he sulks but does not openly antagonize those who make fun of him. So he does not stand up for himself. He doesn't speak for himself, and he just goes through everything passively, like without confronting, without putting up his own point. So let's move further.
Amar is watching his favorite program on TV. His elder brother walks in, changes the channel, and starts watching his favorite sports channel without saying anything. Based on the information you have about his temperament, what do you think will be his response? Will Amar sit there without saying or doing anything for a brief while before walking out of the room? Will Amar fight with his brother? Will he switch on the radio and play it loudly, sing along, and stop his brother from enjoying the TV program? 1. Amar sits there without saying or doing anything for a brief while before walking out of the room. 2. Amar fights with his brother. 3. Amar switches on the radio and plays it loudly, sings along, and stops his brother from enjoying the TV program.
So students, here we have seen the scenario that Amar is sitting there and his brother comes and switches on the TV, changes, and he just starts doing what he wants. So what do you think Amar will do in this situation, that Amar sits there without saying or doing anything for a brief while before walking out of the room? He'll not just say anything. And as we saw the characteristics of Amar, that how does he behave? So on basis of that, you have to judge Amar, that how the situation, that what Amar will do. We've already seen Amar's characteristics. So you have to now judge that, you have to make out that how he'll behave. So second option is Amar fights with his brother and says that why you have changed the channel and all. And the third is Amar switches on the radio and plays it loud and sings along and stops his brother from enjoying the TV program. So that because he didn't allow him, so he'll also do in that way, like Amar will also not allow his brother. So what do you think he'll be doing here? So you all have to write down your answers in the chat box, that how would Amar behave, which is the correct option, first, second, or third. We have already seen Amar's characteristics. So now it's very easy to know that how Amar will behave. So please start responding in the chat box and also on the YouTube also. And okay, I've already started receiving the messages, and quickly, I know you all are really quick. And with so many sessions gone, you know how to answer quickly with your name and region. And yes, I can see many responses. Let's see what is the correct answer.
Most probably, Amar will sit there without saying anything for a while and then walk out of the room. Amar may not even voice his disappointment. This type of behavior is called passive behavior. Amar would not want to have any confrontation with his brother, so he would rather keep quiet than get into an argument. This is a classic example of passive behavior. People showing passive behavior give secondary or no importance to their own rights and needs, allow others to enjoy their rights and needs.
So we saw how Amar behaved. He did not say anything, and though his brother behaved like this, he just stood up and went outside, and without saying anything, without confronting why he was doing this to him, he just went away. So this shows that he has passive behavior. So the people who have passive behavior give secondary or no importance to their own rights and needs, like where he should have told Amar should have told his brother that I also want to see, and come to some mutual consent. Other than that, he just stood up and went out. So this is a classic behavior, passive behavior that he's showing, and also he allows others to enjoy their rights and needs. The people having passive behavior allow others to enjoy their rights and needs. So those are the people having passive behavior. So I know you all have got your answers right. Now it is time for poll question, and I'd like everyone to participate in the poll and give your answers. Those watching on YouTube will get the answer on the screen, and will get the question on the screen, and you can reply. So let's have the poll question now. The poll question is displayed. Rupa ma'am, can we have the poll question? Okay. Now the question today is, have you experienced the characteristics of these videos? Do you relate with these videos? You have seen many videos on different life skills, do you relate to these videos? Have you experienced the characteristics of these videos? Okay, I can see so many replying quickly. I've already received 52, 56, and quickly. You are super quick today, and I'm really happy to see that. So those on YouTube also quickly reply. You can see it on the screen. The question is, have you experienced the characteristics of these videos? So those who have not replied, just quickly you press the button and you reply whether it's yes or no. I can see many, 66, 70 I've seen have replied that they can relate. But there are many who have not replied yet. So I'll just request everybody. I'll request everyone to reply. Those watching on YouTube, you can see the question on your screen, that have you experienced the characteristics of these videos? Can you relate with any of the characteristics? You have seen so many videos on different life skills. So can you relate to any of them? Okay, there are last 5 seconds now, and we close the poll. So those of you sitting there, please give your answer, whether it's yes or no. Okay, let's begin with the video. Okay, those of you who have not replied, do reply.
Walking out of the room, Amar stood near the gate and looked outside. His friend Kumar was coming towards him. Kumar had once borrowed a book from Amar and returned it with some pages dog-eared. Some pages.
Sorry to interrupt. You can again share the screen, ma'am.
Okay, I'll have to share the screen again.
Yes.
Okay.
Walking out of the room, Amar stood near the gate and looked
Can you see
outside.
the screen now?
His friend Kumar was coming towards him.
Yes, ma'am, it's perfect.
Kumar had once borrowed a book from Amar and returned it with some pages dog-eared, some pages smudged, and with notes scribbled in the margin. He had not even apologized for the condition of the book. The purpose of Kumar's visit was to once again borrow a book from Amar. Amar wasn't keen on giving the book to Kumar, but when Kumar started pestering and begging him, he reluctantly agreed. What happened here? Amar gave the book to him, despite not wanting to do so. He found it difficult to say no when he actually wanted to. He hides his feelings and desires and yields to Kumar's opinions and feelings. He also prefers to avoid conflicts and unpleasant situations, and doesn't mind sacrificing his own rights and personal feelings. He may have given an excuse for not giving the book, and Kumar would have said, "Can't you even help a friend in need?" Amar might have yielded to the emotional blackmail and given the book. He is likely to have done that because people showing passive behavior find it difficult to express their personal opinion, find it difficult to say no, prefer to avoid conflicts and unpleasant situations, don't mind sacrificing their personal rights, apologize and feel guilty even when they are subject to unfair criticism.
So students, here we saw that Kumar had taken Amar's book and returned in not a proper condition. And then also when he asked for it again, Amar gave it to him, though he should have said no because he had just spoiled his book. But then also he couldn't say no because, and even if he would have said no and Kumar would have requested that you can't do this for your friend, then he would have said yes because of his passive behavior. So the people who show passive behavior are like they find it difficult to express their personal opinion. Like here, he knew that his book was spoiled, so he didn't want to give it, but then also he couldn't say no. So those people having passive behavior cannot say no. They prefer to avoid conflicts and unpleasant situations. So they just don't put up their personal opinion and just accept whatever is there. So they don't mind sacrificing their personal rights for it because they don't want to be in any conflict or, face in a situation where they have to face some unpleasant situation. So they just sacrifice their personal rights for it. And they apologize and feel guilty even when they are subjected to unfair criticism. Like even if it was not a fault of Amar that the book was spoiled, but if Kumar had said that you can't do this for your friend and you are not a good friend, then he would have immediately said, no, okay, sorry, and you take the book. Because of his characteristics, he would have done that he would have said, sorry, I should have been a good friend and I should give it to you. So this is the characteristics of passive behavior.
Why do people show passive behavior? That is because people showing passive behavior give secondary or no importance to their own rights and needs, allow others to enjoy their rights and needs at their expense.
So people showing passive behavior give secondary or no importance to their own rights and needs. As we saw in the case of Amar, he didn't say anything to his brother, he didn't say anything to his friend, though he felt that the situation was not proper. He he wanted to, but he couldn't say because of his characteristics, his behavior. So he allowed others to enjoy their rights and needs at his expense. So those people having passive behavior, they allow others and they don't put up their own point. So those are the people with passive behavior.
It was time for Amar to attend his special coaching class. Amar usually goes to his class along with another friend, Devaraj. Amar reached Devaraj's house early, hoping that he wouldn't delay him, and as a result, annoy the teacher. Devaraj was not yet ready. Amar told him sweetly that they should avoid going late to the class. Devaraj took offense and said, "Perhaps you can find better friends and be with them instead of me." What will happen if Amar does not point out Devaraj's mistake or choose to go alone to the special class on time? Amar may be happy to retain a friend despite being scolded by the teacher for arriving late. Devaraj may consider Amar a good friend. Amar is likely to be taken for granted.
So what will happen if Amar will just not say anything and he'll just accept whatever his friend Devraj had told and he'll go late? So Amar may be happy to retain a friend despite his being scolded by the teacher for arriving late. And Devraj may consider Amar a good friend just because he didn't say and he agreed to Devraj, though he didn't want to go late, but he agreed because he wanted to retain his friend. And Amar is then in future likely to be taken for granted because he did not put up his point. Amar did not want to go late, but because Devraj told that you find other friends, so he just thought that I'll lose my friend and he agreed to go late. So what will happen is like he'll be taken for granted. What do you think will happen in future? And in this condition, so just write down your answers in the chat box. Which one do you think would happen if Amar agreed to Devraj? So write down your answers quickly. It's first, second, or third based on Amar's characteristics. Yes, I can see your answers popping quickly. Yes, whether it's first, second, or third, what would happen? Okay. Those on YouTube also, please write down your answers, and we are going through each and every responses of yours in Zoom as well as on YouTube. So please write down your answers.
If this continues, Omar will have low self-confidence, lose self-esteem, be exploited, feel helpless.
So if this continues, like if Amar gives into every situations, like he gave to his brother, to his friend Kumar, and then to his friend Devraj, he just agreed to what everyone was doing, though he felt that he should have told something, but he couldn't say. So what would happen in future? He'll have low self-confidence, he'll lose his self-esteem, and he'll be exploited, because as we saw that Kumar just took his book and spoiled it and then gave it back and then asked for it again. So, and in Devraj's case also we saw that what happened. So it is like he'll be exploited by people, and he'll feel helpless because he'll not say for himself, he'll not speak up for himself. So he'll feel helpless in future, and whatever his characteristics are there, it will go on like making his confidence low day by day because of his behavior.
So he's likely to lead a low-quality life, lack individuality, not realize his potential.
So due to this having low self-confidence, low self-esteem, and not being able to say what he wants to say, he'll lead a low quality life, because in all the situations, whether it's at home with friends or at with family or at office or wherever his profession is, he would not be able to speak for himself, and that is the reason he'll have low self-esteem, self-confidence, and he'll lead a low quality life, and he'll lack individuality, because he'll just put into everybody's things, whatever everybody says, he'll just accept it. So he'll have his lack of individuality, that whatever he wants to say or whatever he believes in, he doesn't say. So he'll not realize his potential, because he'll just do whatever people say, and he'll not realize his own potential because of his characteristics. So
that is because passive people give secondary or no importance to their own rights and needs, and allow others to enjoy their rights and needs at the expense of themselves.
So we saw here, we learned that passive people give secondary or no importance to their own rights and needs. They don't speak up for themselves. Even if they are exploited, they don't say that, okay, I don't find this thing right, and they should say, but they don't say it because they are passive, and they allow others to enjoy their rights and needs at the expense of themselves. So these are the special characteristics of passive people.
Umesh showed a painting he had just finished to Amar and wanted Amar's opinion. Amar felt that it lacked finesse and proportion. Yet, not wanting to be openly critical, Amar avoided eye contact and, fidgeting with his hands, said, "That's nice." Since people with passive behavior find it very difficult to express their personal opinion and prefer to avoid conflicts and unpleasant situations, they may even end up expressing an opinion opposite to their genuine feeling. That is what Amar did here. Shall we do an exercise now? You will see a questionnaire on the screen. You have to respond with a yes or no to each of these, based on your own experience. Well, you need not reveal your answers in public. Questions. Yes.
So students, you'll have some questions on the screen and where you have to reply yes or no, but you did not reply the answers in the chat box. You just have to read the questions and reply to yourself that what do you think, whether it's a yes or no for yourself. So you need not reveal it in public on a chat box in YouTube or Zoom. You just have to read, and because this is for your analysis of yourself, so you need not write it in this chat box. So let's see the questions. And for those of you having queries, we'll definitely take up the queries at the end, students. So just wait till the session ends and we'll take up all the queries.
No. 1. Is it possible for you to criticize your friend to his face? 2. When someone older asks you to do something unreasonable, do you question it? 3. If someone is bullying a younger person, will you try to stop it? 4. When you are treated unfairly, do you remain silent? 5. Do people make jokes at your expense often and have fun?
So students, here are some questions on the screen and you have to reply. Remember, reply for yourself, not on the screen. You need not reveal it. Is it possible for you to criticize your friend on his face? Second is when someone older asks you to do something unreasonable, which you don't find it right, but do you question it that why are you asking me to do this? And if someone is bullying a younger person and you're standing there, will you try to stop it or just watch it like that? Or when you're treated unfairly, do you remain silent or just do you speak up your point that this is what it should be? Or do people make jokes at your expense often and have fun? So what are your answers? You can just think of it and you can make a self-analysis through this. So we'll see what the answers are.
Have you finished responding to the questionnaire? Well, as I said earlier, you need not reveal your answers in public. But if your answer has been yes to most or all of the questions, that's an indication of passive behavior. An inability or reluctance to point out errors or mistakes of others in general or someone close, say a friend. Submitting to an unreasonable request, inability to stop, or question injustice to self or others. Tolerating the situation when oneself is the object of others' ridicule or jokes. These are all examples of passiveness. Shall we do another exercise now?
So students, before we do another exercise, I'd like to take up the poll question. So you all be ready to answer the poll question. Let's have the poll question on the screen. And you have to reply quickly with yes or no, whatever your answer is. Those watching on YouTube will have your, can write your answers in the chat box. It will be displayed on the screen. So are these life skills useful for all age groups? What do you think? Because these are life skills that you are learning every day. You learned interpersonal skills, you learned decision making, critical thinking, coping with stress, and today you are learning about communication. So what do you think? Are these skills useful for all age groups? So those watching on YouTube will have the question displayed on the screen. And you can answer that. Are these life skills useful for all age groups? Yes or no? And I can see many writing the answer, but not all are writing the answers. So what do you think? Because we have brought this life skills for you. So what do you think? These are necessary for all age groups or just for your age group? What do you think? You can write down your answers quickly. And I can see 67 replies out of 112. So many have not replied yet. So quickly, given your answers, there are 10 more seconds left and we'll close the poll after that. So reply to this quickly. Okay, we'll end the poll now. And we'll move on to our video.
Father gets a penny each for brothers Kanan and Malan. Malan said to Kanan, Aren't you my darling brother? I have to use both blue and black ink for my project. If you give me your pen, I'll fill it with black ink and mine with blue. Shall we meet another person now? He is Krishna. Aggressive by nature, Krishna doesn't hesitate to forcefully argue his viewpoint. Believes that one can get away with loud arguments. Uses harsh words and expresses anger openly. Criticizes contrary thoughts as foolish or unacceptable. Dismisses people with opposing opinions as worthless.
The students, here we saw about Amar, passive behavior. Now we learn about aggressive behavior, that if you have aggressive behavior, what are the characteristics? Here we see the example of Krishna, doesn't hesitate to forcefully argue his viewpoint. He believes that one can get away with loud arguments in any situation. He uses hard words and expresses anger openly. So he criticizes contrary thoughts as foolish or unacceptable, and he dismisses people with opposing opinions as worthless. If somebody just gives the opinion, he dismisses his opinion and their opinions. So these are the characteristics of Krishna. So based on this, we'll have similar situations as we had with Amar, and we'll just make up that how will Krishna behave in these conditions. So let's go through the video.
Krishna was watching his favorite show on TV. His brother comes in, picks up the remote control, and changes the channel without saying anything. What do you think Krishna's reaction will be? Will he sit quietly for a while and then leave the room, fight with his brother, or play the radio loudly and disturb his brother by not allowing him to watch his favorite program? 1. Sit quietly for a while and then leave the room. 2. Fight with his brother. 3. Play the radio loudly and disturb his brother by not allowing him to watch his favorite program.
So students, here's the similar situation as we saw of Amar. So what would happen if Krishna is sitting and somebody comes, his brother comes and changes the channel? He'll sit quietly for a while and then leave the room, or he'll fight with his brother, or he'll play the radio loudly to disturb his brother by not allowing him to watch his favorite program. So what do you think will be the answer in this? Please write down your answer in the chat box. So quickly write down the answer. What would be the behavior? We have already seen the characteristics of Krishna. So how will he behave in this particular situation? Yes, I can see people writing their students writing their names also. Do write the answer. Which one is the correct option? First, second, or third? You have to write down for only the numbers. First, second, or third. Okay. So let's see the answers. What everybody is writing. Okay. Some are writing 2 options. Okay. Let's see what the correct answer is.
Most probably, Krishna will fight with his brother because by nature, he is aggressive and hence tries to protect his rights in a violent manner. People showing aggressive behavior give primary importance to their own rights and needs, are unmindful of others' rights and needs.
So we saw here that how would people with aggressive behavior will behave? They'll give primary importance to their own rights and needs, and they are unmindful of others' rights and needs. Like if his brother comes, he should have talked to him that we'll watch together and we'll come to some conclusion, but he'll just fight with his brother. That would be his reaction, because he'll just give importance to himself and he'll not think about his brother. So that would be his behavior here.
Krishna's friend Kumar came home to borrow a book from him. On an earlier occasion, Kumar had returned Krishna's book in bad shape, apologizing that his younger brother had mishandled it by mistake. Krishna couldn't help recalling that incident. Though Krishna knew it was an accident, and Kumar repeatedly apologized for it, he wondered how Kumar had the temerity to think of borrowing again. We saw that Krishna's reaction was aggressive. He refers to the earlier incident and finds fault with Kumar despite his apologizing. Krishna ignored Kumar's attempts to explain the incident. That is because, while showing aggression, a person expresses personal viewpoints arrogantly, as if no other opinion is valid or even possible, ignores and dismisses feelings and opinions of others, believes that his or her own needs are the most important, is quick to pick up quarrels and arguments, uses intimidating language.
So here we saw that if Kumar comes to borrow his book, he'll not give his book. Krishna won't give his book because earlier he had returned it not in a proper this thing. So he had already said sorry for that, but then also Krishna won't listen to that, and he would not allow him to take his book, because the people with aggressive behavior express only personal viewpoints arrogantly, as if no opinion is valid or even possible. And they ignore and dismiss feelings and opinions of others. Like when Kumar said that, okay, I'm sorry, and my brother did that, so please give me. He wouldn't listen to it because those people ignore and dismiss feelings of others. And they believe that his or her own needs are the most important and not others, and is quick to pick up quarrels and arguments. Like here we saw Krishna picked up argument with his brother and then with Kumar because he couldn't stand, he was not ready to listen to them or, bring some confusion to things, but he was quick to pick up quarrels and arguments, and he uses intimidating languages, such people having aggressive behavior. So these are the characteristics of aggressive people.
That is because people showing aggressive behavior give primary importance to their own rights and needs, are unmindful of others' rights and needs.
So we learn from this that people having aggressive behavior give primary importance to their own needs and rights and are unmindful of others' rights and needs.
Krishna was getting ready to attend a special class with Devraj. Devraj had delayed Krishna on a few occasions, and they always got reprimanded by the teacher for the delay. There was something that delayed Devraj that day also, and Krishna was getting impatient and angry. He started quarreling with Devraj and said that he got scolded by the teacher due to Devraj's inefficiency. What is likely to happen to the relationship between Krishna and Devraj? Devraj will become friendlier with Krishna. Devraj's relationship with Krishna will be adversely affected. Devraj will start respecting Krishna.
So here we saw that what happened is like, what would happen in this case with the relationship of Krishna and Devraj when Krishna just shouts and gets angry on Devraj for being late as he was scolded. So what would be the answer? You write down your answer. First, second, or
Devraj's relationship with Krishna will be adversely affected. Devraj will start respecting Krishna. And
so you saw what happened is, what is your answer in this?
Finds fault with Kumar despite his apologizing, importance to their own rights and Devraj and oppressive. Krishna will not make a good team member. Relationships with friends will be strained. Others will prefer not to work with Krishna.
So here what will happen? Well, Devraj will not be friendly with Krishna because he was not ready to listen to him. What was his cause of being late, or what was the problem? And he'll just shout and he'll not come with him. So what will happen with Krishna will lose his friend. So that is because others will find his behavior too arrogant and oppressive, that he's not ready to listen what was the problem actually and why were the things that happened. So he wouldn't listen to anyone. So Krishna will not make a good team member. And relationship with friends will be strained because he would be shouting and he would not listen to what is the reason of the things. And other will prefer not to work with Krishna. So that is the thing, like if he behaves like that, these are the things that are likely to happen with him.
Aggressive people may end up having their way, but as in everything, there are consequences. They may achieve what they want using different methods of aggression, but their achievements come with a price. Because they tend to elevate themselves at the expense of others' self-esteem, it affects interpersonal interactions and relationships. They don't make long-lasting and fruitful friendships, and they are poor team members. They do not make good friends. They may set off a vicious cycle of unfriendly and hostile attitudes. Because they're not open to criticism and to try to bulldoze their way, they may trigger uncooperative and antagonistic attitudes in others who work with them. When there is aggressive behavior in the larger picture, no one wins, everyone loses. Let us remember that. People showing aggressive behavior give primary importance to their own rights and needs, are unmindful of others' rights and needs.
So we students, we saw from this situation that nobody wins in this situation. Krishna loses everything if he behaves like this. If his behavior like this aggressive continues, he'll lose his friends, he'll lose his relationship will be restrained, and he'll not be a good team member. So those would be the things if he goes on continuing his aggressive behavior.
Umesh showed a painting he had just finished to Krishna and wanted Krishna's opinion. Krishna felt that it lacked finesse and proportion. Given his natural aggressive behavior, he said sharply, "This painting lacks finesse and seems unfinished. Have you forgot that there is something called proportion? Why don't you develop a new hobby?" You will now see a questionnaire on the screen. You have to respond with a yes or no to each of these, based on your own experience. Well, once again, you need not reveal your answers in public. Questions? Yes.
So students, like we had earlier, we'll have some more questions on the screen. And in that you have to reply yes or no, but you need not reveal your answers in the chat box. You just have to read the question and reply to yourself whether it is a yes or no. You need not share it in the chat box. Just go through the questions and reply to yourself.
No. 1. I am not bothered about getting into an argument to prove a point. 2. Only loud talking and fighting will make others see sense. 3. I swear when I am angry. 4. When I find people talking meaninglessly, I don't mind saying, "How stupid." 5. It is a sign of weakness to not retaliate when someone upsets you.
So students, these are the questions you have to answer to yourself. What is your answer in these situations? I'm not bothered about getting in an argument to prove a point. Only loud talking and fighting will make others see sense. The third is I swear when I'm angry. Fourth is when I find people talking meaninglessly, I don't mind saying how stupid. Then fifth is it is a sign of weakness to not retaliate when someone upsets you. So what is your answer? You just have to think about it and you have to reply to yourself.
Well, as in the previous case, you need not reveal the outcome of the survey. If your answer to all or most of the statements is yes, it's an indication of aggressive behavior. Aggressive people, as we mentioned earlier, not only don't mind getting into arguments, they may even generate arguments and conflicts to prove a point. They don't mind voicing their opinions loudly and strongly, and may not just stop with words. They are honest in a brutal way. When things don't go as they wish, they retaliate strongly and don't mind hurting others. They have an air of dominance and superiority and fail to look at the other side of the truth. They assume that they are always right. In fact, much of their behavior shows that their objective is to induce a passiveness in others. They adopt an antagonistic tone in their speech. They're not worried about others losing their rights while they are establishing their own rights. Shall we do another exercise now?
So students, before this exercise, we'll take up a poll question. So this is the poll question on the screen, and you'll have to reply with yes or no. And those watching on YouTube, you'll have on the screen. So you have to reply to that answer, whether it's a yes or no. So everybody has to participate. That whether, see, so many are watching this program. So we want to know, are you watching just to win gifts, or you are genuinely watching it to learn something? So what is your answer? Okay, I can see someone replying yes. And okay, so most of you have replied no. And one has replied yes. I've just received 60 responses till now, so I'd like everyone to reply. What do you think? Are you watching to just win gifts, or you are genuinely watching to learn something? Yes, please give your replies quickly. We'll be closing our poll and we'll be ending it in just 5 more seconds. So reply, everyone. Yes, I can see many replying. Those on YouTube, please see the question on the screen. Are you watching just to win gifts, or you are genuinely watching to learn something? So you have to reply yes or no. Are you watching to win gifts? Yes, I can see another also saying yes to watch to just win gifts. But most of you have replied no. And we know that you are here to learn and not just win gifts. Gifts are just an additional things. We know that. And okay, I'm ending my poll now, and we'll move up to our exercise that is coming in the video.
Father gets a pen each for brothers Kanan and Malan. Malan says to Kanan, "Aren't you my darling brother? I have to use both blue and black ink for my project. If you give me your pen, I'll fill it with black ink and mine with blue." If Kanan shows aggressive behavior, what might have been his response? Shall we now summarize the lesson? People showing aggressive behavior.
So students, you saw what is aggressive behavior and what is passive behavior. So before summarizing the lesson, I am really happy to welcome today with us is Srimati K. Sagarika Madam. She is the Assistant Commissioner of Academic of Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti, Patna region. And she is here with us. She has watched our program. She has joined here and she will give us our feedback. So please welcome Sagarika Madam. I'd like you to share your thoughts on this program. Rupa Madam, can you unmute Sagarika Madam? Sagarika Madam has joined, and I want you to unmute her so that she can share her views.
Yeah, I have made Sagarika ma'am as co-host, so like.
Okay.
Madam
So,
can
Sagarika
just-
Madam, welcome to today's session, and I'd like you to share your thoughts on this program. You have been there and you have given us permission to do in the Patna region, which is, we are thankful, and you have seen the program. So, do share your thoughts. Sagarika Madam, I think you can hear me. Can you reply on chat? Yes, madam. Okay. I can see there's some technical problem that madam is not able to unmute herself or madam, you can reply on the chat. Okay. I think we'll go with the summary and then we can invite madam to share her thoughts. So we can move on at the moment with our summary. Bhavna madam, I'd like you to talk to madam.
Give primary importance to their own rights and needs. Are unmindful of others' rights and needs.
Krishna ma'am, you need to share the screen.
Characteristics of people showing aggressive behavior.
It is shared actually.
You can share it again, ma'am.
Okay, I'll share it again.
With blue. If believes that one can get away with loud arguments, uses harsh words, and expresses anger openly, criticizes contrary thoughts as foolish or unacceptable, dismisses people with opposing opinions as worthless, people showing aggressive behavior. Others will find his or her behavior too arrogant and oppressive, will not make a good team member. Relationships with friends will be strained. Others will prefer not to work with him or her.
So these will be the characteristics of people having aggressive behavior. We saw the characteristics of people having passive behavior. They don't speak for themselves. They just accept everything. And even though the things are not proper, they just accept it. And while people having aggressive behavior, they will just find their behavior, people will find their behavior too arrogant and oppressive. They'll not make a good team member, and relationship with friends and will be strained because of their behaviors, and others will not prefer to work with him or her because of the behavior.
Thank you for summarizing the lesson so well. Shall we do a bit of homework to reinforce what we've learned in today's lesson? Question 1. A had borrowed a pen from B and returned it to him the next day when B was playing chess with his brother. B receives it and places it on a shelf nearby. A couple of days later, B asks A absent-mindedly if he had returned his pen. If A were a passive person, what would be the reaction? If A were aggressive, what would be the reaction? Which of the following responses is acceptable? Responses. 1. What? I gave it back the very next day. Go check your house properly. 2. Sorry, am not sure if I returned it or not. Let me check if I have it at home. 3. Remember, I gave it back the next day when you were playing chess with your brother, and you put it on the shelf nearby. Question 2. A group of boys are playing kabaddi during lunchtime. The referee... Remember? I gave it back the next day when you were playing chess with your brother, and you put it on the shelf nearby.
So students, here is the question that A had borrowed a pen from B and returned it to him the next day when B was playing chess. B receives it and places it on a shelf nearby. A couple of days later, B asks A absent-mindedly if he had returned his pen. And if A were a passive person, what would be the reaction? If A were aggressive, what would be the reaction? Which of the following responses is acceptable? So please write your answers in the chat box. What do you think is the acceptable answer out of these? What? He would answer that. What? I gave it back the very next day. Go check your house properly. That should be the answer. Or, sorry, I'm not sure if I've returned it or not. Let me check if I have it at home. Or the answer that, remember, I gave it back the very next day when you were playing chess with your brother and you put it on the shelf nearby. So what is the answer which is acceptable out of this? Which should be the correct answer? Please write down your answers in the chat box. What do you think is the correct answer?
Question 2. A group of boys are playing kabaddi during lunchtime. The referee grants a point to the opponent's team, assuming one of the players did not cross the bulk line or bonus line properly. Which of the following is 1. A passive response, 2. An aggressive response, 3. An appropriate response? Responses. 1. Player says, "Who says I didn't cross it? You must have been daydreaming." 2. Player says, "I may not have crossed the bulk line or bonus line," and agrees to the ruling. 3. Player explains, "I came from this side, put out my left foot beyond the line, and lifted my right foot when somebody made a noise. You turned that side and didn't notice my crossing the line."
So students, here we saw what happened is, what do you think is the correct answer in this? A group of boys are playing kabaddi during the lunchtime. The referee grants a point to the opponent's team, assuming one of the players did not cross the bonus line properly. He was not sure, he just assumed and granted a point. So which of the following do you think is a passive response, an aggressive response, and
"I may not have crossed the bulk
out
line
of these
or bonus line," and agrees to the ruling. 3. Player explains, "I came from this side, put out my left foot beyond the line, and lifted my right foot when somebody made a noise. You turned that side and didn't notice my crossing the line."
So students, which one is passive response, which one is aggressive and appropriate? The player says, "Who says I didn't cross it? You must have been daydreaming." What type of answer is this? Passive, aggressive, or appropriate? And the second one is player says, "I may not have crossed the bulk line," and agree to the ruling. So what is it? A passive, aggressive, or appropriate response? And the third is player explains, "I came from this side, put my left foot beyond the line and lifted my right foot when somebody made a noise. You turned that side and didn't notice." So what type of answer is this? So you have to write down before each one is whether it's a passive or aggressive or appropriate. So you have to write down the answers in the chat box. Which one do you find passive, aggressive, and appropriate response? So please write down your answers in the chat box.
Shall we discuss the answers now? For question 1, A had borrowed a pen from B and returned it.
So before moving on to answers, I'll now that there was some technical problem as we invited Madam. So now that is been solved. And so I'd like to invite Sagarika Madam, Assistant Commissioner from Navodaya Samiti Patna, and I'll request her to share her thoughts on our program. Yes, ma'am. Rupa Madam, can you unmute Sagarika Madam, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am is already unmuted.
Okay. Thanks, Rupa Madam. Yes, Madam, we'd like you to say something for our program. You have been associated with us. I can see her mic is on, and yes, Madam. I think there's some technical problem at her end, so she's trying to say, but okay. Yes, Madam Sagarika, Madam. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm reading the responses and you are writing all the correct answers. Okay, I think there's some technical problem at Madam's side, so she's not able to reply. So we'll move on with the answers of the questions.
To him the next day when B was playing chess with his brother. B receives it and places it on a shelf nearby. A couple of days later, B asks A absent-mindedly if he had returned his pen. If A...
Yes, I could see Madam coming. Yes, Madam. Sagarika, Madam, can you share your thoughts? I think she was able to come. The technical problem she's having. Okay. Okay. Meanwhile, we'll finish the answers, and by then I think. Okay, I can see Madam. Namaste, Madam. Warm welcome to you, and thank you for joining. As you are associated with our program, I'd like you to share some thoughts about our program. Yes, Madam. We cannot hear you. I think the voice is low. Yes, Madam, I can see you. We can see you, but we cannot hear you. Yes, Madam. We cannot hear you, Madam. I think there's some technical problem there. Madam, can you hear my voice? Yes, Madam, can you hear my voice? Can you write down in the chat box, please, Madam? I'm not able to hear you. I think Madam is trying her best, but she's not able to connect. There might be some connectivity problem or something. There's some technical problem because she's trying. We can see your video and we cannot hear you. So I think there's some problem there. Okay, meanwhile, okay, madam. I think there's some problem there. And okay, we know you are trying your best and you are there with us. You can send your recorded message otherwise, so that we can play it online. You can just record a video right now and we'll just play it. Okay. Okay, madam. Meanwhile, I'll request you, if it is not possible, you can record your video right now and you can send it to us and we'll just play it here so that we have your feedback. Meanwhile, the problem is solved. Till then, we'll just take up the answers which are pending so that meanwhile the problem at madam's end is solved. It's just
A were a passive person, what would be the reaction? If A were aggressive, what would be the reaction? Which of the following responses is acceptable? Responses: sorry, am not sure if I returned it or not. Let me check if I have it at home. Indicates A is passive in his approach, making it appear as if he is guilty when he is actually not. The response: what? I gave it back the very next day. Go check your house properly. Indicates an aggressive reaction. Both of these are unacceptable. On the other hand, the response, remember, I gave it back the next day when you were playing chess with your brother and you put it on the shelf nearby, is appropriate because it is assertive and plainly states the facts without being rude or submissive. Did you identify them correctly? For question 2.
So students, did you identify the correct answer?
A group of boys are playing kabaddi during lunchtime. The referee grants a point to the opponent's team, assuming one of the players did not cross the bulk line or bonus line properly. Which of the following is 1. A passive response, 2. An aggressive response, 3. An appropriate response? Responses: I may not have crossed the bulk line or bonus line, and agrees to the ruling, is a passive response. Who says I didn't cross it? You must have been daydreaming. Is an aggressive response. Both these are inappropriate. On the other hand, I came from this side, put out my left foot beyond the line, and lifted my right foot when somebody made a noise. You turned to that side and didn't notice my crossing the line is appropriate. Did you
So students, I hope you got your answer right. So today you learned about passive behavior and aggressive behavior. So we'll have more sessions on assertiveness tomorrow and day after, where you learn more about this. So I'll now ask Bhavna madam to take up the query. Students, whoever has query or want to give your feedback, you can raise your hands and we'll take up your queries or your feedback. Okay, Sagarika madam is here on the screen. Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Yes, we can see you. but we cannot hear you. No. Okay, meanwhile, anybody who has any query can raise your hands and we'll take up students your queries or whatever. If you want to give feedback like two students gave on Saturday, you can give your feedback, you can raise your queries relevant to the topics. I
Yes,
can see. Yes.
students, as ma'am has rightly explained the topic, win with assertiveness, and the skill was communication. I hope that now you will be able to communicate in a much better way than before. So I would like to firstly tell you about the prizes. I have told you in the beginning of the session. After that, I'll take your queries. So the prizes are, I'm repeating, 5 smartwatches, 10 LED table lamps, 20 flash drives, and medal for 100 participants. And there are certain terms and conditions. The terms and conditions are that you have to be a daily attendee. You have to participate on a daily basis in this life skills session. After that, you have to give maximum accurate and correct replies. And the next term and condition is that you have to enter with your correct name and your region name. Then only you will be applicable for your prizes. So now, if you have any query in today's session, you can definitely raise your hand, and the person or the child who raises the hand, I will take their queries. And many students, I can see today that they have answered very effectively and accurately. And some students are replying, I can take the name also, that they are saying that whether we get the prize or not, we are happy that we are getting very much knowledge from these sessions. And this student is Shivani Krishna R from JNV Court like Hyderabad. So these classes are worth more than any gift. Very nice, Shivani, that you are having so much insight into this life skill sessions. Sandhya is saying that for gaining knowledge from these sessions, we have joined this session and not from the prizes. And I can see many more students who are replying in a very beautiful manner. Anu Sani, she has written that we are getting knowledge about how is passive behavior corrected, what is aggressive behavior, how passive behavior will affect our life if we will not overcome it. Another very better reply, good reply is of Vedshri. Vedshri has also written very beautifully. So like if you have any queries regarding this session, you can definitely raise your hands, my dear students. And in the beginning of the session, I have shown you a feedback video of a student. So if you want to give your feedback videos, you can give on the link shared in the chat box, or you can go to our website www.aprajita.org, and you can also upload your parents' feedback over there if they are seeing this video with you. The video should be of 40 to 50 seconds. So I think that you don't have any queries.
No, Bhavna madam, there are 4 participants who have raised their hands, and plus I think Sagarika madam's audio problem has been resolved, I think. Yes, Sagarika madam, can you, is your audio problem resolved, ma'am? Yes, Sagarika madam, you can unmute yourself and say. Okay, meanwhile, Bhavna madam, I think there are 3-4 participants who have raised their hands, so you can take up their queries.
So, Sai Priya JNV Chittor. Yes, beta. What is your query? Please tell. Or you want to give feedback regarding the session? I would like Rupa ma'am to please spotlight Sai Priya JNV Chittor.
Yeah, if Sai Priya, if you could like turn on your video, I can spotlight you.
Yes, Sai Priya, please unmute yourself and also turn on your video. Okay, meanwhile, I think that Saipriya is not here. So now I'd like to ask Anisha Anil, JNV Mahi.
Good afternoon, teachers. I'm Anshan of JNV Mahi from Hyderabad region. I also want to give back the feedback that the class was amazing and it was really helpful. I mean, to understand the passive and aggressive behavior. And am I right in saying that this session will be continued in the following days?
Yes, yes, it will be continued till 25th of May. And we are happy to hear that you are really enjoying these sessions and you are learning a lot of things.
Yes,
And
you'll have 2 more sessions on assertiveness, so you do watch them.
Any more
okay,
time, please?
I was wondering whether I'll be able to know the remedies and how to overcome these kind of behaviors. That is my question actually.
All right, Anisha, so we have this session on assertiveness and communication tomorrow also. So you can get your answers in the upcoming day. Like tomorrow you can get your answers how to overcome this kind of behavior.
Thank you, teachers.
Thank you, Anisha. So any other student who wants to resolve their queries or who wants to give the feedback? Yes, Monisha. Monisha M. JNV Mysuru. Please unmute yourself and also turn on your video, Monisha. Yes, Rupa ma'am, can we spotlight Monisha?
Yes, ma'am. Once Monisha turns her video on, we will spotlight her.
Monisha,
Monisha, can you please turn your video on so that we can spotlight you?
yes, dear students, you have to
Yes,
turn on your. Thank you. Thank you, Monisha. Please unmute yourself, Monisha. Thank you.
good afternoon, teachers. I want to give feedback regarding today's session, which was about win with assertion. It was truly impressive session and it was very empowering session. And I gained many deeper understanding of the importance of being assertive and how we have to change our behavior. And it can have very positive impact on our personal lives. And also the session was really engaging and informative for me, and I feel very much motivated to work developing my assertive skills, behavior, and encouraging others to do so. And thank you for providing a safe and supportive environment to explore all these skills. And I would like to thank the Aparajita for giving her such an amazing sessions like life skills.
Thank you, Monisha. It is so good to hear that you are learning a lot of things from this session. So students and Krishna ma'am, I have got the information that Miss Sagarika will not be able to continue the session today because of some technical issue. She will join tomorrow for the feedback and for everything.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we can take up more queries from the students who have raised their hands.
Yes, definitely. Nima Prasant, JNV Vayan. Yes, Nima, please unmute yourself and also turn on your video so that we can hear from you.
Good evening, teachers. I'm Nima Prashant from JNV Wayanad, Hyderabad region. Today, I made a mistake. I think Krishna ma'am noticed it while polling. So I was gonna say that no for that poll, but I mistakenly clicked yes. So I think Krishna ma'am can understand that I was gonna say no. And today's session was amazing. That I learned how a person's behavior can hurt others and also can change a situation. Not only this class, every class was amazing and knowledgeable. I learned so much things that I can I think that I can use it in my daily life, and now I'm using it, and it's helping me so much. So I'm thanking all the teachers who have taken classes and all the other teachers who have worked behind this. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Nima. I totally understand you had given the answer by mistake. So don't worry. We know each and every student here is to learn. The prizes are just an additional thing that you'll be getting. So don't worry. We understand.
All right. So the next child would be Ananya. Ananya BG JNV Trivandrum. Ananya, can you please, Ananya, yes? Can you please unmute yourself and turn on your video? Are you here, Ananya? Meanwhile, we can take another student. Annie Tagigi JNB. Are you here, Annie Tagigi? Okay, then the other student is Arathi S. Arun. JNB Trivandrum. Students, please, if you want to have your query resolved, turn on your video and your mic so that we can see you, we can hear you.
Bhavna Madam, Ananya is asking which Ananya, from where? Because I think there are two Ananya. So you have to say which, who raised her hand?
South Canada. Ananya BG JNB South Canada.
Okay, because she was asking in the chat. So, okay, Ananya, you can unmute and give your response.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you wanted to give your feedback, Ananya? Sorry. Okay.
Are you telling Ananya of Jain, South Canada?
Yeah, South Canada. Yeah. You raise your hand to put up some query or feedback.
Ma'am, this session was wonderful, ma'am. And it is also useful, ma'am. Ma'am, sometimes I'm facing network issues, so I was not able to respond properly, ma'am.
Yes, Ananya, thank you for giving your feedback. We totally understand. And you have been participating and learning. Thanks for letting us know, because that motivates us and to take more sessions and give you the best things. Thank you. Yes, Bhavna Madam, you can take up another queries.
Yes, ma'am. So Ahilya, JNB, her name is not mentioned here. Ahilya, do you want to answer or give your feedback? And then two students are have raised hand, but they are not like here present. So I think that the raised hands are now no more left. That's all I think.
Okay, I think students who have raised hand and are not able to connect, you can go to our website and give your feedback, and even upload on the Google Drive link, which is shared with you here. And on YouTube, you can go there and share your feedback. We are receiving feedbacks from all over India. So whoever is not able to connect and want to give us our feedback, so do go there and give your feedback. Thank you, students, for participating so amazingly and making this this program so much useful and fruitful. Thank you. I'll give it over to Bhavna Madam.
Yeah, Madam, just one small update. We have one more poll with us, like
Okay.
left out. So can it be
Okay.
considered?
Yes, we can do that poll. It was just that Sagarika madam was there, so we thought we'll. Okay. Okay, students. So there's one more poll, and you can reply to that. It is displayed on the screen. So, are you assertive to achieve your goal? Yes or no? Okay, you can reply your answers yes or no. Are you assertive to achieve your goals? We have learned about goal setting, and now we are learning about assertiveness, and we'll be learning in more sessions about assertiveness. So, are you assertive? Those watching on YouTube, you can see the question on the screen. Are you assertive to achieve your goal? Yes or no? Okay, I can see many replying 24, but that is, I think, so many students are not there. Okay, given your reply quickly, are you assertive to achieve your goal? Okay. There are 5 more seconds. Those watching on YouTube also write yes or no. Are you assertive to achieve your goals? Are you there, like full dedication and you want to achieve your goal? So watch more lessons on assertiveness today. You have watched one tomorrow and day after, and there are more lessons coming up for you. So we'll end the poll here, and Rupa madam, you've got our replies. Okay, thank you, students, and have a great evening. Bhavna madam, Rupa madam, over to you.
Yes, thank you, madam. So, yes, everyone, Krishna ma'am has rightly said that you should be assertive to achieve your goals. So, I hope that you have really enjoyed today's session and you have learned a lot of things. And you are welcome to join tomorrow also. So, now, thank you. Over to Rupa ma'am.
Thank you, Krishna ma'am. Thank you, Bhavna ma'am, for this excellent session. So see you tomorrow, students. Thank you.